Welcome to another edition of the Turnpike Sports Book Report. I'm Doug Weischadle here with Dave Weischadle. We're here to give you a whip-around look at some of the latest news stories coming out of the sports betting industry over the past week. Press releases, info at turnpikesportsradio.com. Please keep them coming in. Love hearing from our PR and communications friends.
Yeah, I know. Boy, they've been sending a lot of news.
Yes,
this week. And plus, we have a new state.
We have a
new state
joining
the sports betting family.
Kentucky. The 37th state to legalize sports betting.
Wow.
But in this week, and we'll talk about that later on in the industry updates.
Don't want to jump the gun here.
Exactly. Okay. Well, we just want to acknowledge, congratulations to Kentucky.
Yep.
Moving fast, too.
Yeah, I know. They have the rules and everything. So
yes, exactly.
I don't want to start talking about it before we start talking about it. So,
well,
what do we want to talk about now?
Well, this week, state and national reports. We've got June reports for both Maryland and New York State. We've also got June horse racing numbers to talk about.
Good.
Deals segment, we've got Genius Sports, Sportradar deals. We've got a pair of deals involving Dana White.
Okay.
Two of his organizations. I think everyone knows which ones I'm referring to.
Well, two of his big ones, I guess, MMA and
UFC.
Well, UFC in the MMA, and he does a slap fighting thing.
That's exactly it right there.
Okay, I'm not exactly sure of the official title of that league.
Well, we'll be talking about that, and I'll tell you the exact name of the league when we get there. Industry updates. We've got the Kentucky launch to talk about.
All right.
Or the Kentucky legalization, I should say. Hasn't launched yet. We've got Puerto Rico launch to talk about.
Good.
We've got a whole bunch of other launches to talk about as well. And we're going to end up the show with our legislative roundup like we always do. We've got updates coming out of Maine, Vermont, and Minnesota.
All right.
We'll start talking our state and national reports right after this.
80% of falls in the home occur in the bathroom. Don't put yourself or a loved one at risk. There's a safe bathing system for everyone's budget.
Enjoy a bathing experience that combines safety, comfort, and excellence. If assisted living is not for you, a BCI walk-in tub may well be the answer, giving you the safety and freedom to live independently. A BCI walk-in tub is the most affordable and comfortable walk-in tub in the market today. With our dual drain technology, your tub will drain quickly, and for those that still like the feature of a shower, our two-way bliss gives you both a handheld and overhead shower head. We offer the best financing in the industry with payments as low as $99 per month or no interest, no payments for 18 months with approved credit. For comfort, safety, price, and selection, it's got to be BCI Walk-In Tub. Be one of the first 50 callers and save $1,500.
Call 800-354-4377, 800-354-4377 for a free no-obligation in-home consultation.
Attention. If you owe back taxes to the IRS, watch this urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by hiring 87,000 new agents to garnish your paycheck and put liens on homes and businesses. They can even seize your bank account. The IRS calls it enforced compliance, and now they have the manpower to get you. Penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily. So call One Stop Tax Relief Shop and get the IRS off your back. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever offered. And no other tax shop gets you more or faster approvals. One Stop Tax Relief has resolved thousands of cases since 2014 and saved clients millions of dollars. Call now for a free consultation. Connect with tax professionals who get the IRS off your back.
Call 800-605-0688. 800-605-0688.
One Stop Tax Relief Shop.
Welcome back to the Turnpike Sports Book Report. In our state and national reports, we're going to start off with some June sports betting numbers from both Maryland and New York State.
Okay.
Maryland, a couple benchmarks to talk about.
By the way, we should start with Maryland. We start with New York too many times.
Well, we end with New York a lot of times,
yeah,
too.
I know. Well, they are the be-all and end-all, so that's according to them.
They're turning into that, to be honest with you, the way they keep setting records.
Yeah.
We've got the state of
Maryland.
In June. With their June sports betting report, the state of Maryland, the sports betting industry, the combined sports betting industry, retail and mobile, passed the $3 billion mark in all-time handle. $3 billion, $66 million, and some change.
Okay.
They also passed the $25 million mark for taxes in 2023 already.
That's great.
So they're ahead of their schedule from last year.
If you're a state, that's the important figure.
What was interesting, June also marked the first full month for Fanatics in Maryland.
Oh, okay.
Fanatics Sportsbook totaled $1.6 million in total handle, or online handle, I should say.
I'm excited to see Fanatics. I haven't seen anything of the Fanatics. I haven't seen the their sportsbook, their online sportsbook. So I'm dying to check that out. I'm dying for them to get to New Jersey too. So.
Every time I've seen them do a beta test, people pop up the screenshots of what the app looks like.
All right,
it looks pretty sleek, which actually could be very cool to see.
That.
It's kind of easy on the eyes. So.
Good. I hope so.
Yep.
There are some sports books out there that looks like a computer screen at NASA.
Yes.
I mean, some of the numbers and some of the way it's organized. I'm not going to name them or anything like that, but honestly, the one I like that's really easy on the eye is Unibet. It's just there.
Well, we'll be talking about them later on in the show.
Okay. All right.
Good thing you mentioned that.
I like Unibet.
Yes.
I like the format of Unibet. It's very easy on the eye. It's user friendly and things like that. There are some other sports books that just a page full of numbers that you have to work through.
In terms of handle leaders for the online industry, we just talked about Fanatics hitting the $1.6 million mark in their online sports betting handle.
Okay.
FanDuel led everybody with $108 million.
Wow.
Almost 109. DraftKings was second. That's pretty much how everything is shaping out across the country as well. So nothing new to report there. Over in New York, though, New York State, their June sports betting report. Very interesting numbers.
Now, this is for the entire month. Usually when we talk about New York, they just give out the weekly report.
Right.
Okay.
Well, we are going to talk about the weekly report as well.
Okay.
But we're going to talk June. New York State sports betting industry, $25 billion in handle all time.
Okay, unbelievable.
$2.1 billion in gross gaming revenue.
All right.
That's all time. And also all time taxes, $1.1 billion.
Wow.
Those numbers are just
this
outstanding.
Is a year and a half, right?
Yes.
Really, a year and a half. Yeah, January of last year.
Yes.
Okay. That's for mobile.
That's mobile.
Yeah. That's when the numbers were just shut up. Yeah.
Well, if you look at it, New York State's kind of interesting. The entire state is just mobile because there's so little retail going on.
Yeah.
It's only in that one area, one little locked away corner of the state.
Yeah.
So everything is just mobile for New York.
What did someone say about upstate New York? That's just southern Canada.
Yeah, basically. Especially Albany in the winter.
Which, by the way, it's beautiful. Albany is the coldest city. I don't care. We went to school in Boston, and that's nothing compared to the coldness you feel in Albany.
That's
which is
tundra-type weather.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. But speaking of the weekly reports, we had a while there where DraftKings was leading. They had 3 straight weeks atop the leaderboard.
It was 3 straight. It was officially 3 straight.
Yes.
I thought it was 2. I wasn't sure about the third week.
3.
But okay, so DraftKings, I mean, for a long time, FanDuel was the number one sports book in New York State. And for I guess, only 3 weeks now. You're saying it's 3 weeks. Am I getting the impression that it's
no more?
No more. Did FanDuel?
FanDuel went back for the week ending July 2nd. FanDuel took the week ending July 2nd.
All right.
FanDuel took top spot again for both handle and gross gaming revenue.
All right.
So it's, I guess, all is right with the world. I guess if you want to look at it that way.
I mean, I guess the FanDuel offices. I guess so.
Yeah, and they actually beat DraftKings quite handily. If you want to consider. It's about $15 million difference.
Do you know if they did anything differently for that?
No one knows.
4th week, or it just fell that way. The numbers fell that way.
It's just the way it fell. That's all.
Interesting. No special promos or bonuses on either side that kind of made it flip, or what?
Not that anyone's reported.
Okay, all right.
We've got one national number to talk about. BetMGM reported that they had a 40% year-over-year increase in betting on women's sports.
Good.
WNBA, LPGA, and WTA, the Tennis Association.
Okay. I know for a fact right now there's a lot of betting on the WNBA.
Yes, and we also have the Women's World Cup coming up soon.
Yeah. That should be a big event.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's going to be pretty good. IMG just got the contract for that from the BBC to televise it. Over in the horse racing industry, we've got a couple June numbers to quickly hit here before we end the segment. Wagering on horse racing in June fell 4% year over year to $934 million in handle. Total wagering down 3% this year. They have $6.074 billion year to date.
Okay.
But it's down 3% year over year by this time last year. They also reported that the number of race days in June decreased by almost 10%.
Well, yeah, I guess that kind of coincides with the numbers,
Yes.
the falling numbers. So.
And also the number of races fell to 1,861 races year to date. That's about a 3.5-4% drop from this time last year as well.
Interesting. Okay.
So kind of, year to date is kind of dropping at a lower rate than year to year. But, their number of race days are dwindling for some reason.
I wonder if...
This is just the United States, by the way.
Yeah. I wonder in the United States, the big discussion with the horse racing industry is using fixed odds like you use in sports betting. The pari-mutuel stuff, when you place a bet on a horse, I mean, the odds change all the way up until race time. It's fixed odds. You put a bet in, and those are the odds that the horse runs at for your personal bet. But there's already one app in New Jersey,
Monmouth
Bets uses fixed odds wagering. So I'm curious if fixed odds, will kind of help the horse racing industry in the long run.
We'll see, but
if more states adopt the fixed odds,
I'm
option.
noticing more UK horse racing lately than U.S. racing horse racing. There's an increase in number of races I'm seeing overseas, even around the world too.
I am really enjoying horse racing this year. We have the on our Roku FanDuel TV, and I guess they're with a TVG.
Yes,
and they have the TVG, race book there on the TV. So it's a lot of fun. So it's a lot of fun watching.
Well, that's it for the state and national reports this week. Let's head on over to some deals. This week in our deals section, we've got a couple deals involving Genius Sports and Sportradar. Genius Sports announced that it's extending its partnership with the NFL, holding the title of the league's data rights holder until the end of the 2027-2028 season.
Good.
It means that that Genius Sports will continue to distribute real-time official stats of football, NFL football, to betting operators and maintain their 98% hold of the market.
Wow, good.
They provide 98% of the U.S. sports betting industry with official NFL data.
Yeah, well, I use them all the time.
Yes. Matter of fact, what this also allows them to do with this extension of the deal, they will also be increasing the feed data for the next-gen stats that we see on all the broadcasts now.
Okay.
So Genius Sports, every time you see next-gen stats on the TV broadcasts, that's Genius Sports giving them the next-gen stats.
Have they done a betcast for the NFL yet? I don't think so.
That might be hard to do.
I don't know. I'm trying to picture it. I'm trying to think about it, but it should be an interesting thing if anyone tried to do that.
Well, again, I think it's a
the
matter
amount of people betting on the NFL and playing fantasy. It would be interesting.
Well, it's. I think it's just a matter of the broadcast rights more so than anything.
Yeah,
I don't think the data affects anything. I think it's just a matter of whether or not you can get an alternative broadcast going. But I think the NFL would probably have to do it through their site.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, because they have a stranglehold on their media rights.
Sure. Oh, sure.
Over on the other three leagues, the NBA, MLB, Major League Baseball, and National Hockey League, we have Sportradar announcing of an expansion of its partnership with Caesars Sportsbook. They are going to be now creating and giving them more NBA optical data tracking.
Okay.
So that's going to be very interesting to see the NBA partnership expand between Sportradar and Caesars Sportsbook. What the expansion of this deal for all the sports, MLB, NBA, and NHL, allows Caesars to create new props.
Yeah, I know. It'd be great for micro betting or the micro markets and in-game betting.
And for all the parlay freaks out there, it would also allow them to create additional same-game parlay menus.
Okay.
Also, they're going to be doing an expansive in-play betting opportunities because of this deal, Caesar Sportsbooks. And, there's going to be more pre-match data. There's going to be more content solutions. And everyone saw...
So basically, if you enjoy sports betting, quit your jobs.
Yeah, basically.
Just because you know how much time you'll have to spend, trying to figure... I spend a lot of time with these the single game parlays. Man, I'm like going through data and stats and things like that, but it just now it's going to be even more data to go through. So, oh God,
You know what I've been finding very interesting
be
lately?
burning the midnight oil in some of these games, huh?
The same game parlay market for baseball is very interesting to me. I'm starting to learn how to do that. Have never done same game parlay for Major League Baseball until this year.
Okay, well,
And it's something I've been trying to do to expand what I've been doing betting-wise, because I do it NBA, I do it football, and, once in a while I'll do it on hockey, but I've never done it on baseball.
Yeah, no, but
I'm starting to see a lot more parlay markets for baseball.
it's interesting. A lot of the sports books are suggesting certain parlays, so you have that, but it's tough to, I think I tried it once or twice and it never worked out, so I'm not sure I'm going to jump on with their suggestions, but but it's going to take a while now with all the different bets and prop bets and things like that. It's incredible.
And as I mentioned at the top of the show, we've got 2 Dana White-centric deals.
Okay.
I guess you can call it that. Bet365 announced an expansion of its partnership and an extension of its partnership for a 3rd year with the UFC.
Okay.
They are now going to be increasing the scope of its coverage and offerings to Bulgaria, Denmark, Germany, Greece, Italy, Netherlands, Spain, and Sweden.
Wow.
As well as they're going to continue, Bet365 will continue being the presenting partner for, let me get these right, the Cage Warriors playlist on UFC Fight Pass.
All right.
The If You Don't Know, Now You Know series on Dana White's social media channels.
Okay.
And the One-on-One YouTube channel, all MMA UFC specific channels.
All right.
Over on the alternative sports scene, we have Alt Sports Data, which is an alternative sports data feed company.
Okay.
They just announced a global partnership with Dana White's Power Slap.
Okay, so that's the official.
That's
I
the
know it was like
official
a
name.
slap fighting
Yes.
league. I didn't know it's Power Slap.
Yep.
Okay.
They're going to be creating a full wagering life cycle and betting options for Power Slap events, Power Slap 1 and Power Slap 2.
Where can you bet on that? I don't know if you can bet on that.
Wherever they're allowed to
Okay.
feed this
All
stuff.
right.
Alt Sports Data focuses on alternative sports.
Yeah, I got the name.
Well,
I got it from the name.
Listen to these numbers for Power Slap. Power Slap 1 and Power Slap 2, which was broadcast on the streaming platform Rumble.
This was a tournament, right?
These are tournaments.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
5 million views collectively.
Wow.
Watching Power Slap 1 and Power Slap 2.
I would know where to watch them. Where would I
The
watch them?
streaming platform Rumble.
Rumble.
Yes.
Okay.
This deal was done in time for Power Slap 3. The numbers have not been released yet for that.
Yeah.
And just as an example of what Alt Sports Data does, they have partnerships with the World Surf League, the Major Arena Soccer League,
Okay.
and Street League Skateboarding,
Oh, wow. Okay.
as well as a few others.
Yeah, I never even thought about betting on surfing. Wow.
I don't know too many states allow
I don't
betting
know.
on surfing.
I don't know. Well,
I have to take a look at some of the betting menus.
Yeah, I guess so. Boy.
But that's it for the deals this week. We'll start talking industry updates right after this.
Every 40 seconds, a kid is reported missing. Find the Children provides educational material that teaches your kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs are very successful in bringing kids back home to their family. You can help protect our kids and bring the missing kids home safe by donating your unwanted car, truck, SUV, or van, running or not. We guarantee you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast free pickup, usually within 24 hours. Over 2,000 kids are reported missing every day. Call now to donate your vehicle. Donate now to bring these kids home safe.
Call 800-934-2260. 800-934-2260. 800-934-2260.
Game sauce and Tony, best slip is empty. I gotta call KG.
KG, what up?
I got nothing for you, Fox.
Ah, come on. Jalen. You wanna tell?
Yeah.
Don't call somebody on live TV.
Well, you answered. Have other friends anyway.
Marshawn, Barry.
Listen, I need some tips.
I like LA.
LA?
No, Dallas. That's
Dallas?
Dallas.
Dallas?
How about Detroit? Barry,
I'll call y'all right now. Vanessa.
I got a tip for you. Always go with your gut.
I like that. Let's go with our gut.
Welcome back to the Turnpike Sports Book Report. Industry updates. As we said at the top of the show, Kentucky became the 37th state to legalize sports betting in the United States here. The Kentucky Horse Racing Commission announced that the opening date or launch date, I should say, for retail sports betting, September 7th. Start date for online sports betting, September 28th.
Wow.
3-week difference.
Wow, that's going to be great.
Well, it's kind of interesting to see how fast they're moving. The Horse Racing Commission in the state has already approved emergency regulations to start accepting applications and getting the rules going. Mm-hmm. They're going to be voting on the proposed rules sometime in August to make them permanent, but right now they're operating under the emergency rules. Basically the same things.
Okay.
The bill legalizes betting on professional and college sports. The sports betting licenses are going to go to tracks. The tracks can partner with online sports betting operators. Mm-hmm. Legal betting age, 18.
Wow, okay.
That's consistent with the state laws covering the horse racing.
Horse racing, 18.
So it makes sense in Kentucky.
Okay.
I mean, that's basically horse racing country there, more so than a lot of other places around the United States. So congratulations. Over in Puerto Rico, we just talked last week about Caesars getting the license for approval for launch. Mm-hmm. They have launched.
Oh, okay.
Caesars launched their mobile sports betting app in the jurisdiction of Puerto Rico. What marks this as very unique in terms of a launch, this is the first time Caesars rewards will be available outside the United States.
Wow, great.
So congratulations on Caesars expanding the loyalty club reach.
You can use your comp points in Puerto Rico
Exactly.
now. How awesome is that?
Or you can earn comp points in Puerto Rico.
Comp points in Puerto Rico.
Over in Arizona, we have Hard Rock Digital launching the Hard Rock Sportsbook at Twin Arrows Navajo Casino Resort.
Okay.
Basically, the sportsbook is going to feature 8 kiosks, 2 betting windows, but according to Hard Rock, it will be very similar to the Hard Rock Sportsbook in terms of the online experience. You're going to have pre-game, in-game future markets, all major sports, same-game parlays, head-to-head bets as well, play-by-play betting. Twin Arrows is run by the Navajo Nation Gaming Enterprise, NNGE.
Okay.
That's the largest federally registered Native American nation in the United States.
Wow, great.
Kindred launched its brand new version of the Unibet and Casino and Sportsbook app in Pennsylvania. It just recently launched in New Jersey. They had 205,000 unique customers active on the new platform in New Jersey in the first quarter of this year. So they're anticipating Pennsylvania will have the same response.
Probably.
Massachusetts, we had a Massachusetts Gaming Commission hearing that had DraftKings applying to put Live Golf on the approved sports betting list. 5-0 against.
Wow.
It was basically...
Is it one of those things that's wait and see what happens with mergers and
that's
things
basically
like that?
what it ended
kind
up
of,
being,
okay.
yes.
Well,
yeah.
I guess that's a smart move. You want to figure out how this is going to all pan out.
Yeah, because Live Golf may be completely subsumed by the PGA Tour. You never know. But again, they got to see whether or not the merger comes through. They'll revisit it later.
Oh, sure.
Also, another unanimous decision, 5-0 vote, was to place Todd Grossman in position as the interim executive director, replacing the current executive director, Karen Wells. She retired from the Gaming Commission at the end of last week.
Wow, okay.
So congratulations to Todd Grossman for becoming the interim executive director. Also, the Nevada Gaming Commission issued a warning regarding the streak of scams that are going on in Las Vegas.
I saw that,
Actually, all over Nevada, they're saying that.
Yeah.
They're warning that the nationwide scam, they're calling it nationwide. But they've been reporting on a couple of different places in Nevada. The thieves are using social media. They're targeting employees with social media, and then they're getting in touch with them and trying to do scams across the board with that. One of them was a casino cage worker.
Oh, okay.
That ended up giving one of the scammers $1.something million.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Everyone was wondering how do you give someone $1 million? I mean, it's incredible. I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of the scam and things like that, but boy, that's scary to think about.
Yes, but it's the first time the Nevada Gaming Commission has acknowledged this.
Okay.
So, but that's it for this week's industry updates. Let's finish up the show with our legislative roundup. Rounding out the show, we're going to start up in Maine.
Okay.
The Maine Gambling Control Unit has reinstated Executive Director Milton Champion after suspending him without pay for several months after certain statements he made on his social media accounts.
So what did they do? Just reconsider? I mean, these statements weren't bad, or he didn't do them, or what? They just found nothing to...
The statements were categorized as sexist and racist.
I guess not if they reinstated
They
him.
reinstated him. I guess it's a temporary period to see how he does, see what happens again.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Everyone's holding their breath to see how everyone reacts to his repositioning as the control unit executive director.
This is kind of an interesting time for Maine. This is when they're getting the rules and regulations. I mean, they legalize sports betting. They just have to implement it now. So this is a crucial time in Maine.
Well, the one thing everyone has to remember, Maine's gambling control unit is not a big staff. It was Milton Champion and one or two others.
Okay.
So to get this going, I think they got to actually put him in place and see what happens.
Yeah.
Maybe after it launches, they'll replace him.
Well, who knows?
Who knows?
I don't know what's going on in Maine.
Yep.
So.
State of Vermont established more details on the timeline for the launch of online sports betting, which is scheduled for January of 2024. Department of Liquor and Lottery Commissioner Wendy Knight expects to be reviewing the first proposed enhanced procedures for online sports betting at their next meeting. It should have already occurred by the time this airs. They're also going to be issuing requests for proposals sometime mid-July here, maybe towards the end of July, depending on the procedures voting that goes on in the meeting. They're looking at 2 to 6 online sports books only in the state. And if none of them meet the criteria, they have a function in place. This is actually interesting. They've got a function in place where the state can have one designated online sports betting operator if none of the other applicants meet.
Interesting.
So they're ready just in case they don't meet the criteria that they set out for everybody. But again, 2 to 6 online sports books, no retail.
And who is this for now?
This is Vermont.
Vermont. Okay.
And they're inching closer and closer and closer.
Well, they got flooding to deal with right now. So
they're a little preoccupied.
Yeah. Let's get the flooding under control right now. So.
And last for this week, we're going to be talking Minnesota. Minnesota, as you know, this year they introduced legislation which would give exclusive rights to sports betting in the state to the 11 federally recognized Native American tribes in the state. And also the tribes can partner with online sports books as well as the professional teams for sports betting. That never got to a vote before the legislature left for the year. Yeah, it never got called for a vote.
Really? Okay.
But again, it's going to be everyone is expecting Minnesota to do this next year. Legalize sports betting. The one thing that's unclear in all
when
this,
you say next year, I mean
when sometime next year.
They're not going to. It's not going to be in time for the Super Bowl. That's what I'm.
Next
year
they don't have a pass yet. They don't even have a pass yet. So they got to legalize it first.
Pass next year.
Yes, exactly.
All right. So
the one question
that's going to be years.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, it's been years now.
Yeah,
this is the third try for them.
It's going to be years. So.
The one thing that's unclear for Minnesota is what to do with the horse racetracks. The horse racetracks are not included in this bill.
Interesting.
The horse racetracks have said they are willing to do a revenue share with the tribes to get sports betting. Tribes aren't on board with that yet.
Okay.
So
they got a lot of time to figure it out.
They got plenty of time.
It's going to be a ton of time to figure
Everyone's
it out.
negotiating.
So,
there's going to be a lot of give and take here.
Oh, sure.
I'm very curious to see where the sports teams fall.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of how many sports teams they've got. The Twins, the Timberwolves,
the
Minnesota Wild.
Yeah.
Is it the hockey team?
Yeah.
Minnesota Wild.
Vikings.
The Vikings.
Yeah.
So there's a lot.
Do they have a WNBA team or? I'm not sure.
I want to say the Lynx, but I'm not sure if that's them.
I don't know.
But there is a WNBA team in Minnesota somewhere. But so we'll see exactly where Minnesota goes. That's it for this week's Turnpike Sports Book Report. Keep the press releases coming in info at turnpikesportsradio.com. Ticker's been flying by. Additional news stories there. Also, the print version will be up on the blog, turnpikesports.us. Click on the blog button, and you'll see a full print version after the show is released.
And that'll do it for us this week. We'll see you next time on the Turnpike.